Hello and welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since the last long form video. When actually was that? Let's check. Cause yeah, I have it up on my laptop like a professional. I feel like Brittany Broski. Ooh, May, girl, that was many months ago. Anyways, first off, peep the nails, huh? Like F1 and that. Can you tell these were cheaply and quickly DIY'd? You know what's funny? I don't even have nail glue. There's blue tack, like old, kind of melted blue tack, and it's working, so I'll take it. Anyways, so this is episode 1 of my new series, F1 Face Cards Spooky Edition, where I'm gonna pick a fun makeup look that's really Halloween-y and then mash it up with sort of the colors and aesthetics of an F1 team. So here I've got some delicious little Halloween looks and we're gonna pick one out for today. And then here in an identical container, which was probably not a good idea, I have the F1 team, so let's do this. I'm going to pick out the look first. That way I have sort of a vision in my head. And then if I pick the team and it's bad, you guys get to enjoy that live. You know what I mean? Drum roll, please. Okay. Ooh, Avatar. Okay, starting off strong on the first one. Now, there are quite a few blue teams on the grid, so I'm hoping that it would be that, but knowing my luck, I'll get Ferrari. Alrighty, drum roll please again. If it's Ferrari. Please be blue. I think I see a W. Williams! It's blue! Okay, I'm not cheating, people. Is that mirrored? Anyway, it says Williams. Okay, so we're going to be doing Williams x Avatar. Exciting. Let's get into it. So let us get up an inspiration because best believe I can't pull this stuff out of my head. Ooh, gorgeous. So this is going to be kind of like a tutorial, if you will. But feel free to like actually use a real tutorial and not this. I'm gonna tie up my hair, but I'm gonna take these off. Shut up. Blue tack is actually genius, so I don't want to hear it. Ow. Blue tack should not hurt that much, dear God. About to be exposed to the biggest forehead on the planet. Oh, kind of like Megamind vibes. Ooh. Do I really want to expose that on the internet? You know what, I don't care. I frankly don't care. Whew. First thing we're gonna have to do is like completely bluify my face. So let's get on to doing that fast. So I'm just mixing a little bit of a kind of cool toned grayish blue shade right now. This is not the right color. Okay, I feel like this is the best I'm gonna get, so we're just gonna have to deal with a slightly warm toned avatar. Well, okay, and now I just put this all over my face. So yeah, I'm just going to go in with the kind of like paler bit of this blue shade and just put this all over my face. I hope this doesn't stain. Now I go in with the sponge. Yes, this is a broken palette with a sticky thing on it, so I can just stick it everywhere. Aren't I a genius? I did STEM in high school. Anyways, and now we're just gonna... I'm kind of gonna go around here so I can put a more paler shade in there. I would do my neck and ears. I wouldn't actually, I don't have enough face paint. So, yeah, I can't even afford nail glue, so what makes you think I have enough face paint for my ears and neck? And this is the final look. So I'm gonna leave a little gap in sort of between my hairline and the rest of the like foundation so I can put in a darker kind of contoury look for an avatar. Anyways, okay, so now that you look like you kind of have a face mask on, we can start going in with sort of a more white pale shade to do the little concealer area, so let's do that. So I'm gonna put a lighter, more on the white side shade underneath my eyes, on my nose, and then a little around my mouth. And now we just blend her one in. I wonder who the beauty gurus of Pandora were. Like, Who are the Navi were making me like the OG, the 2016 style. And now we bake. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of a lighter shade because I feel like it's sort of blended in a bit too much. Like there should be a contrast. Okay, I think it's a little bit more apparent now that, you know, there's some highlighting being done. Now we're gonna go in with a darker shade and kind of like bronze slash contour look. So for the most part right now, it's kind of just like a regular glam look, but blue. I'm just putting it sort of on my cheekbones. It can be lower because it's gonna take up a little bit more spice. I recently dyed my hair, so if I wash this, it's gonna drip red everywhere. So if it doesn't go to the hairline, that's why, people. And blend. Now I'm gonna go in with, doesn't really matter which like shade of blue it is, if it's like the foundation, concealer, highlight, like contour, whatever. I'm just gonna go in with any blue and pop it on my lid so that when we put some eyeshadow there, it has a little bit of a base behind it. Yeah, I'm a pro MUA. I keep forgetting to look into the lens and not into the little like screen there, so just excuse me if I do that a lot. Zing zang. Now we can go in and probably gonna set the face a little, so let's do that. So to set this stuff, I'm going in with the light blue eyeshadow on the sponge. Now if you're doing this makeup just sort of to take a few photos, you don't really need to do setting depending on the type of face paint you're using. But obviously if you're wearing this like on a night out to a little party, it would be a good idea to set it so that it lasts long and it doesn't like smudge. Although for this look, I can see why it would be helpful to set it regardless so that you have the base and then when you do the stripes over, everything doesn't melt and look ugly. Whoop woo! And this is the no. I really feel like a powder puff would have been more efficient. Do I have that? I'll send out. Oh, so while I'm here taking a long ass time to do this, what's everyone's Halloween plans? Are we going to parties? Are we hosting parties? Lord knows I'm not invited anywhere. In the comments, actually, I want you to tell me what your ideal Halloween looks like. Because let me tell you, I have a whole... I've literally, like, gone to sleep dreaming of what my ideal Halloween looks like. So now I'm going to take the time to tell you whether or not you want to hear it. So firstly, I would host it. I love hosting parties. I love decorating the house. I love making like themed food, all that. So I would host it. And it would be my close friends, because my controversial hot take is that parties really should only be for people you know. Like the idea of meeting new people at a party, that doesn't, to me, that's not the optimal way to meet new people and like really be friends. Maybe that works for you. That does not work for me. But maybe that's why I'm not invited anywhere. Gagged. I love the like, you know, what is it? So yummy. A 1 hour compilation Halloween food. I eat that up. Literally and figuratively. And then we would watch Addams Family Values. That like, I am waiting for the day I become famous and the Letterboxd people ask me my 4 favorite films, because best believe Addams Family Values will be on there. Maybe in another video I'll explain actually why I love that movie so much, because I could talk about that for hours. And this is a long form video, this is what you signed up for. Okay, so I have gone in and finished the base. I've put in a bit of a brighter powder as well to really bring out the highlights. And now we're gonna go in and add those little stripes and cutesy little dots. And we're gonna do one sort of largest triangle stripe all the way to where my unibrow is right now. And then kind of map out everything from there. Also, I will reiterate, these colors are so warm, they aren't really giving Williams blue, which is a little bit disappointing. Williams is all about resilience, so we're gonna resiliently carry on. Oh, also, this is the color of the unicorn that was on the sticker, and then Carlos won, so this is actually Williams. Thank you very much. Nice. Now we're just gonna keep on mapping it out, and then we can sort of soften out the edges so it just doesn't look like a bunch of stripes. Am I using my hand as a palette? Why? Say with me now. because I can't afford one. Not really something I should be saying with a bright and happy undertone. Anyways, if I don't get invited to the premiere of, I don't know, Avatar 7 or whatever it is they're planning, a strongly worded email will be sent. To whom? I'm not sure, but it will be sent. Okay, now we are gonna go and do the same thing and then have all the stripes, and then we'll blend it a little bit better. Kind of wraps around the face, so I'm gonna do the middle one, which will come out the most. And remember, if they're not, you know, symmetrical and they're not perfect, that's okay, because we're not the synthetic ones, okay? We didn't need to be created in a lab. Yes, this is me justifying if it turns out ugly, okay? Should I do a stripe here? I don't think they have stripes on their chin. Well, what if I have a genetic mutation and I do have a stripe on my chin, so okay, that escalated. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and kind of pick up a little bit of what's left of the cream foundation shade, and then just sort of slightly feather out the ends there. Nice. So now we can go in and do the little dots. So for this I'm going to use like a water-based paint because those are a little bit more opaque and they are self-setting. So this is the part where this is easy for everybody because literally all you do is just go ham. So ham we shall go. Oh, before I do the dots on my nose, I will just super quickly go in and just sort of spruce up the nose contour a little bit more. And I'm just using the same shade that I used to do the stripes, but a super thin layer, so it just builds up really nicely. And we kind of want a really skinny nose bridge, like botched nose job skinny, and then it goes wide. Ding! If that was an email from my uni, I'm just gonna ignore it. Don't ignore emails from your university, lest you want to end up like Jeremiah Fisher. You know, speaking of Jeremiah Fisher, I am a big hater of The Summer I Turned Pretty. My entire family is. It brought us together as a family to hate watch the show. And that's not to say I hate the actors or whatever. I think I severely dislike the show because a lot of the decisions made by a lot of the characters is like, do people really behave that way in real life? Maybe I'm just sheltered and I've never met people who would behave that way. But see, in my humble opinion, a lot of those decisions could have been prevented had these idiots not had access to excessive money. Because what the flip do you mean? Conrad spent an extra, what, like $500 to get on a flight? Where does he have that money? Isn't he not like unemployed? Okay. Well, that came out a long time ago. And now there's a movie which is like, yeah, the ending felt rushed, but at the same time, like, what more is there to say? You know, like, okay, Stephen and Taylor, whatever. Because, I mean, they've had their ups and downs, and we kind of just know that it might stay that same trajectory, or they're working it out, whatever. But then, like, Denise and Jeremiah, we can assume what happens. We don't need to see it. And then Belly and Conrad, like okay, and like I just don't get it. I don't think there was a need for a movie. But you know, who am I to say that? I'm just an idiot painting herself blue on YouTube and other platforms. So, freckles adhered. Now we are gonna do the little like pink nose bit. I think I'll go in with a lighter white and then set it with a darker powder. Cause you know, art and what that. We are composed, we are cool, we are calm, we are James Vowels. You know, I like a lot of team principles. That's a lie. No. What I'm trying to get at here is with team principles. Like, you know, this is sort of the same phenomenon with drivers where it's like, yeah, you know, they're iconic, they have their memes and whatnot, but then you really respect a few of them for like technical ability. Because, I mean, like at the end of the day, whether you want to agree with me or not, all the drivers have kind of like they kind of deserve to be there, earned their place, whatever, like most of them at least, like, or they're a paid driver or whatever, or they don't deserve to be there, whatever. Driver skill is like one thing, but the sort of like technical expertise and strategic thinking, that's just so like impressive to me. So that's probably one of the reasons why I really like James Vels, and I just love the way he articulates. That man's vocabulary, his everyday lingo, I need a thesaurus sometimes to understand exactly what it is he's saying, you know, and like that's impressive. And also Carlos Sainz driving for Williams, like, look, I know he's a good driver, the ladies love him, whatever, you know, he was the only non-Red Bull driver to win in Singapore in 2023, but his like quick thinking and like just his strategic thinking in a race is insane to me. Because, you know, you have strategists whose job it is to think about stuff, and they're not the ones in the car. They're sitting down in their comfy little seats and whatnot. The way Carlos Sainz can think of this stuff mid-race, get an MRI of that man's brain, because, you know, it needs to be studied. That's insane to me. So I really do think him going to Williams was a good move. Because one, he's doing so well there. And I think because of that technical and strategic ability, paired with such an amazing thinker and articulator as James Vels, I really do see them doing great things. This is not to discount Alex Albon, my absolute sweetheart. He's a machine. He is so insane to me. You know, like in karting, he was like that guy. He was the guy. He still is the guy. And he has done so amazing this season. From 3 back-to-back DNFs to, you know, getting majority of the points. Insane. Okay, so I've gone in and done my nose, and I put a little bit of blue in my brows as well. So now we are going to go and do the eyeshadow look. Now this is really kind of up to you what you want to do. There's no like set look, I think, but any kind of glammy bluey eyeshadow look will do here. So I think I'm going to do kind of like a cut crease, but like a paler on the inside and then a darker on the outside. So we'll start off by doing the darker on the outside. So I'm going to use the powder that I used for the kind of bronzer with a tiny fluffy eyeshadow brush. Ooh. Just blend in any kind of leftover pigment on there. So now there's a base for it to adhere to. I can speak English. Now let's go in. So this is kind of going to be the in the middle shade. I'll have one shade darker and then quite a lighter shade for the cut crease bit. Actually, this channels something I never thought I would do in 2025. So thank you to everybody who is able to support and who has been a fan. It's really, you guys are the reason why I'm able to make content like this. So I say that with my big and mighty, 200 subscribers. Anyways, I love and appreciate every single one of you. Even if I had 1 subscriber, I'd be like, that's one person who saw my content and went, yerp. So yeah. Okay, now that I've laid that down, go in with a darker blue. Oh, I'm a professional. It really doesn't matter how janky it looks if it's smoothly blended, which is my philosophy. I don't know if that's actually real. Okay, now I can go in with a bit of that paler concealer shade that we used in the cream face paint. I'm gonna lay down a nice base there. So this is kind of like how you do a regular cut crease, where you lay down a bit of concealer for that lighter shade to stick onto. And it can really be a thin layer just as long as it's even. Even it's like another uni email that I'm gonna ignore for now. But yes, even if it is whatever's left over on your brush, that will work, I hope. Because I'm just telling you that it will. Now I'm gonna go in with, let's see, I was gonna do just a plain white eyeshadow, but I have one that has a bit of shimmer in it, which I think could be a little bit more interesting. So we're gonna do that. Okay, I think finger is the way to work. Pause. Okay, somehow that worked the first time and then worked worse subsequently, which, how does that even happen? Now I'm gonna go in with one of these sort of like angled, can you see, is it gonna focus for me? Focus. Okay, it's not gonna focus. It's got attention issues, I get that. I'm just going in with one of these like flat angled brushes, dipping in some black eyeshadow. We're gonna do a little winged liner moment. A little bit thicker than I wanted it to be, but you know, so am I. They're not even at all, but remember what I said about not being perfect? Because we're natural. We're all natural here, we're organic. I don't take Tylenol, because I'm Australian. Now let's do lips. Actually, before we do that, I have this nice iridescent eyeshadow thingy here, and I want to use it. So maybe we can do kind of like a highlighter situation here. I'll put it kind of like above here. The 2016 Milk Moustache highlighter. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. Now we can do lips. So I'm gonna go in first with the shade that we used for the stripes, sort of a darker blue to line the lips. Alrighty, so I've gone in and just done my lip liner. This is the shape I prefer, something a little bit more pouty. And now I'm gonna go in with the same shade that I used for my little pink nose to do the lips. My lips are kind of like pinkish enough, but I just want to lay down something that I can blend into the liner. Okay, just like that. Perfect. I think I am pretty much done with this look. I am just going to wash my arm, do a little bit of like touch-ups, mascara here and there, and then I'll show you the final look. Alrighty, this is the final look. Did I eat or did I eat? So I'm wearing my Williams shirt. The color is off, but we've already talked about that. Yeah. Oh, I think I ate. I think this looks amazing. I would give it a 10 out of 10, obviously. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I say tutorial lightly. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and watch out for the next episode of Formula 1 Face Cards Spooky Edition. So now Williams is out of the mix and Avatar is out of the mix, so we're gonna see what we can come up with. Alrighty, love you so much. Gelato out. See you.